Hey, if you are 24 or older and you're having erection issues, there could be a good reason for that. And what I'm going to do is break down exactly why you're having erection issues and give you some great advice on what to do about it so you won't have these issues in the future. And hey, my name is Brian, aka Uncle B, and for the last 20 years I've been the male performance coach with African Fly, the liquid aphrodisiac. And as a coach, unfortunately, I'm talking to dudes younger and younger. I'm talking about from 16, 18, 25-year-olds who are having issues that they have to go to the doctor for. So there's some reasons why that's happening. And what I'm going to do specifically is talk about how the world is sort of set up for you not to succeed right now and what will happen if you don't make changes. And of course, I'm going to give you the things that you need to understand so you can make the right changes. And if you stay to the end, what I'm going to do is give you a bonus, which is how to make sure you overcome this. And as always, if you like what you hear, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so we can get some more of this information to you. And what I'm going to do is break this down till it cannot be broken anymore. Okay, let's go ahead and break this down because what I said earlier is true. We're now living in an unnatural world. So let's sort of break that down. What do I mean by that? Well, there's only been 150 years where we've gone from eating meat rarely to it being at every meal. So that's a huge shift, and obviously that's affecting our bodies. And then we take a look at the last 80 years and we're talking about all the electricity, and now people are able to stay up longer and get less sleep. And so that's another factor. And also, of course, we have to talk about all the electronics and the phones and all these different things. And obviously that has a very different effect on you. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. And as I mentioned several times, we've been having a low testosterone pandemic for a long time now. And obviously that's affecting you. And the bursting and burning of testosterone is what fuels an erection. So living in this unnatural world has led to erection issues. Some studies are suggesting by the year 2030, there are going to be a huge population of men who are infertile. That's how unnatural we're living right now. So let's go over the dangers of not changing. And it's a bunch of them. The first being early erectile dysfunction. If you're having problems with erections right now, maintaining erection, getting an erection, well, that's a sign of ED. And if you don't make changes, it's just going to continue. It's also an indicator of lifelong illnesses. There are going to be illnesses that come because your testosterone levels are low. And with low T, you're talking about issues like diabetes, heart attacks, strokes, things of that nature, things you don't want, things you may be thinking, I'm too young to have that issue. No, you're sitting there in line for that. And of course, there's impotence. If you're having ED early on and you don't get that change, it's just going to keep on leading to a point where you're not going to be able to function at all. So you don't want to keep doing what you're doing right now. And of course, if all of this is happening, this is not helpful. It's actually leading to an early death. And here's the unfortunate thing. If you are the age of 24, you're actually on the leading edge of what has been known to be the first generation of humans not to live longer than their parents. So of course, I'm going to give you just two of the things that you need to hear. We have a system where we talk about easiest. That's ESEIS, energy, sleep, exercise, intermittent fasting, and your soul, like meditation and stuff. We're going to talk about the beginning and the end, the two most important parts. We're going to talk about what you eat and also about your soul, your stress levels. So when it comes to food, food has the most direct effect on your body. Why? 70% of your body's DNA is determined by what you eat. That 30% that sort of locks you in place, that's your genetics, that's your height, that's your eye color, things like that. But you know, me as a 5'10" guy, I've been 180 pounds, I've been 280 pounds. That's that shift in what you're eating. And of course, as I always say, there are only two food groups. There's live food and dead food. So you need to get as much live food into your body as possible. Live food is plant fibers. That's really it. Just eat more plants. And when it comes to the dead food, when we're talking about animals, the reason why I call it dead food is in order for humans to consume an animal, the animal has to be dead. If you're consuming death Obviously, it's not a good thing. Your body doesn't function efficiently off of eating dead stuff. And that's sort of obvious. Because what happens is that meat clogs our veins, it clogs our bodies, causes inflammation, slows down blood flow, and you lose your erections. One of the things that's really sort of a new science, we start talking about your gut biome. And basically what it comes down to is in your large intestines is when your food gets turned into you. So you eat something, it goes through your stomach, goes through the stomach acid, goes into your large and small intestines where there are 100 trillion bacteria that goes through and just started eating and taking care and moving and taking whatever you ate and turning it into you. While you can eat several different things around the planet, you want to eat the things that are optimal for you, and those are plants. There are 22,000 edible plants around the planet, and most people get stuck eating the same 4 meats and the same 4 seafoods. One thing to remember that a lot of people are still doing: stop using a microwave. Please don't use a microwave. I don't care if you're microwaving popcorn. Whenever you put into a microwave, you're taking the energy out of it. If you're eating something that's like that, you're eating cardboard, just flavored cardboard. It's not good for you at all. All right, let's jump into that second part, which is your soul. We're going to talk about stress. Chronic lifelong stress. And it's important for you to understand this because the generation before, even my generation, I guess you would say, our level of stress wasn't as high because we didn't have the phones. We didn't eat the same way we're eating now, where you have so much processed meat. So when you have chronic stress, your body does a couple of things that are not good for you at all. The first thing is that it actually slows down the blood flow to the rest of your body so it can move the blood to your brain so you can think your way out of this situation. But in the meantime, you're slowing down the goodness of the blood that's going through your organs. And also your body is constantly releasing chemicals so that you can go through and fight whoever you're supposed to be fighting, except the problem is there isn't a real fight. It's just in your head. Chronic stress from a bunch of different things over time can lead to more and more problems. Obviously, I have to talk really quick about the phones because they're everywhere. Our kids are using them. Everybody's using them. I actually saw a family reunion where I'm looking at 80-year-olds and 3-year-olds using phones. They're talking to people that's not even in the room. Now, the thing to remember, of course, is that the phone companies want you to be hooked on the phone. That's the reason why you get signals not from other humans, but just a beep, just another bloop. So you keep looking at your phone. You become addicted. It can become a leash. And so that's where the stress comes in, because now you have people calling you, all types of messages coming through, and you're responding to stuff that really isn't for you. And you could end up getting mad looking at all this different stuff, looking at videos, looking at negative news. All of that stuff is constant stress. Please look for ways to cut back on it. Take your phone, turn that sucker off, sit it down for 2-3 hours. Just relax. You know what's going to happen in those 2 or 3 hours? Nothing. Same stuff that normally happens. You can live without your phone. And one thing to be very careful about, especially for my younger guys, is the normalization of alcohol. Now we're to the point, it's club culture. And now with COVID-19, the club is gone, but the liquor stores are still open. And so people are like, well, yeah, let's go ahead and have happy hour on Zoom and things like that. Look, we've taken the alcohol too far, and if you're consuming alcohol, it's damaging your liver, it's damaging your body, it's damaging your erections. All right, let's go ahead and talk about some solutions, some thought process that you need to have so that you can overcome this problem. The first thing is, it is your body and it is your responsibility. Please do the research. I'm glad that you're looking at this video right here. We have over 100 other videos where we're talking about sexual health, all the things that I talked about here. We break them down specifically into their own different videos. We got videos about testosterone in food and what you should eat and what you should drink and why, et cetera, et cetera. Make sure you get that information. You now have more information available to you than anybody else in human history. So use that information so you can get better. The other thing is, do not become a part of the magical pill society. And that's the people that run around and say, hey, whatever problem you got, I just got a pill. You don't have to do anything else. Just take the pill. That's akin to your kid coming up to you saying, I don't have to do homework. I have this pill and I just take this pill. And, if that happened to me, the first question I ask is, can I have the pill? Because I don't have to do homework. I can just take the pill. And you just take it. It's like, boy, that's a tic-tac. Take your ass over there and get your homework done. Really, it's just like that. People are saying, just go to the doctor so you can get a pill and that's it. That's not the way your body works, and you know it. And I do want to say the testosterone pandemic is real. It is very helpful for you to know where you are with your testosterone. So we're actually going to leave a link down in the description where you can go and get a testosterone kit mailed to you. You can just do the things that you need to do and send it back, and they will let you know what your testosterone levels is, and you can start adjusting from there. Most importantly, this does not get better. I know at 49, I was young. I know you have that feeling that you're going to live forever. You can do whatever. Like these old guys, why don't they just get in shape, go to the gym? Your body doesn't work like that. There are a lot of different things that affect you over time. Father Time is undefeated. Mother Nature doesn't like him either. So she comes out with some stuff. So in conclusion, the unnatural world has led to a worldwide low testosterone pandemic. The dangers of not making the changes that you need is ED, illness, impotence, and early death. What you eat has the most important influence over your body, so make sure you get your plant fiber in. Chronic stress happens when your body thinks you're under attack, and it's going to pay less attention to your erections than the fact that you have chronic stress. And of course, this is your responsibility. It is your body. Make sure you do the research and execute. And of course, make sure you check me out on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We go live on YouTube, so you can go ahead and ask me questions. We try to get that answered right then and there. And the question of the day is, have you had erection issues? If you've had and you were able to overcome them, leave that information below so we can learn from each other. And as always, if you like what you heard, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bells so we can get more of this information to you. This is Uncle B saying, get your game up. Peace out.